Hi, I'm Jim Morrish. I'm one of the founding partners of Transformer Insights, and I'm joining you from the show floor at CES 2024 from the IoT M2M Council booth here in a small little studio that we pulled together. And I am joined by Daniel Quant, who is the GM for gateways, modems, and either routers or routers, depending on which side of the Atlantic you're from, business units at Multitech. Daniel, welcome.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Well, we're day 2 of CES, and well, it's certainly picked up since the pandemic years. Super busy out here today.
It is. It's great to be back and sitting opposite each other, face to face, and that's quite fitting because we're talking about enterprise wireless convergence. So bringing things together. Now, in an enterprise context, I'm sure you'll go on to explain, but there are many things going on in an enterprise context. You've got things which need to report back very frequently. You've got things which report back infrequently. You've got things which generate enormous data streams, and all this needs to come back to some central points or disaggregated points and somehow be managed and controlled. So perhaps you want to give your thoughts on some of that diversity of assets that companies end up managing in their facilities.
Yeah, so in some markets we see a lot of proprietary technologies, and critical infrastructure is a great one for that historically. But increasingly we're seeing wireless connectivity really bubble down now to just a handful of technologies. Technologies like Wi-Fi, of course, cellular communication, which is now extensively used throughout the enterprise. LoRa has now picked up a substantial amount of business within the enterprise. And you've got Bluetooth and one or two others. So it has sort of rationaled down. And if we look at just the trade show here today, right? They're wanting to connect all manner of stuff in this building. They want to be able to connect their building management systems, the lighting, the heating. They want to be able to put sensors for occupancy, where to clean, where's been busy, refrigeration units with sensors in them, monitoring the temperature of our food. So lots of different applications, some of them running on batteries for years, others more broadband applications, and this has been traditionally very siloed.
Yeah, and I guess one of the things to draw out of that is that there always will be a requirement for different types of communications technology, because fundamentally you've got different types of assets. Some generate a lot of traffic, some don't, and need to be powered by battery. So
yeah, so you just imagine what's in your own home. You can only imagine what kind of assets are here in a big trade show. So a lot of diverse types of assets. Some assets want to live on batteries for years. Others have a lot to say. Some require range. Some could be much closer, maybe even wearables. So it's a difficult and tall order to expect that one wireless technology can somehow connect every class of asset. And that's what brought in all these proprietary wireless technologies. But we're seeing that change now. We're seeing that convergence happening.
Okay, and when you say you're seeing that convergence happening, what do you mean by that?
So, for example, in a big hospitality environment like this, maybe there's a private cellular network that covers this facility, and that enables better cell phone signal, faster upload speeds, better call quality, but it also enables, perhaps you can't quite see what I can see, but the food court over here, it enables them to be able to connect up point of sale terminals, be able to connect up digital signage, so get a lot more mobility of these assets in the building. And perhaps maybe Wi-Fi and LoRa and Bluetooth gateways are maybe connected into that network environment, that foundational network coverage, so that now all of that data is coming up into a central core, and that data is ultimately maybe coming up into the same hyperscaler cloud platforms where that data can be analyzed and integrated into the management of this convention center.
So that's in fact more than just convergence. That's more about being cohesive and all the technologies working together and supporting each other, even in terms of the operation of the networks.
Yeah, exactly. So with service level agreements, assets that report infrequently on batteries get perhaps a different type of slice than surveillance and security access systems that require lower latencies and more data rates. And so at every layer of the stack, data capture into a platform, applications that can gain access to that data, you see that convergence. And that's been happening at various layers in that stack for some years now.
Yes, and it's going to continue that way. I mean, it's consolidating down to a few protocols, but it's never going to consolidate down to just one because the requirements are so different.
Yeah.
So what's Multitech doing in this space? How are you engaging in that and how are you supporting that?
Well, we are Multitech, right?
I suppose.
So we're supporting different technologies. We've been very much leaders in the whole LoRa space. Of course, we saw the potential for just the massive machine connectivity of sensors that are enabling us to make more data-driven decision making about how we control complex machines. It's not just about the thing that gets controlled, like heating, ventilation, but it's about the data that's required to make that decision. So we're providing sensors for LoRa, we're providing gateways. Most all of the gateways that we sell have cellular backhaul in them, so you're taking the best of broadband, always-on connectivity, and you're matching that to deep, long-range building penetration RF. And so a classic example of convergence, bringing that data into a data platform. It's not about one must beat the other. It's about the two together bring more than the sum of the parts.
Yes, it's about recognizing which is most appropriate for the particular job at hand and combining them in a flexible way. Excellent. And typically, what about network management to support these multi-tech environments?
Yeah, great point. So you can have all the sensors and gateways, but to really be able to reduce the frictions to onboarding all of this, remember, it's not a developer that comes in here to install all this equipment, it's an installer. So to make that simple in the installation, then you need to be able to orchestrate, provision, set up policies, and that then enables IT to create a secure environment, to be able to manage all of those policies and usage and achieve those kind of SLAs. And it empowers the more OT guy to be able to install, configure, and get that online. And of course the IT and the OT guys, they enjoy that device management throughout the entire duration of that deployment.
Yes.
It reduces the need to have to do truck rolls. It enables them to be faster to do updates, to be able to test it in a cluster and then go live with it. So the analytics and the updating of that network is just essential. And this is where Multitech integrates device management at a sensor, gateway, and a network level into most all of the assets that it makes now.
Yes. So on one side you're integrating it from a technology perspective, and from the other side you're integrating it to make it more converged and cohesive, and as a proposition for different user types in real life when it's out there and deployed.
Yeah, and a lot of our customers have their own platforms, so it's not about us forcing our platform on them. It's about them getting access to that data and bringing it into, again, a converged platform that's showing them how all their asset classes are performing.
Fantastic. Daniel, it's been really interesting to speak to you about this. It's a very interesting topic, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and looking forward to a great CES and start of another year, 2024.
Exactly. It's all ahead of us. Thanks, Daniel.